Good morning. Hope you're having a good Thursday today. Hope you have had a good week. We've had a great week here at First UMC. We had a lot of ways to serve our college kids, a Wesley kickoff and Shades of Starkville yesterday. I've gotten to meet a lot of kids, got to have sweat a lot on the campus of Mississippi State. So that's always fun when you sweat as much as I have sweat this week. I'm enjoying air conditioning. Air conditioning is awesome. I'm thankful for it, but it has been a hot but good week. We are, I mentioned next week we'll start talking about Daniel, but what we're going to do the next 2 days this week is we're going to look at some Psalms. And if you've been part of my reflections for any length of time, you know I love the Psalms. I'm always returning to the Psalms, particularly sometimes as a break between two sections. And so what I find myself doing a lot of the times when I go to Psalms is reading the ones I like. There's a lot of them that I like a lot. 121, 139, 130, 133, 51, 19, 1. I've got a lot of songs I like. But the next 2 days, I'm going to do something different. I want to talk about a couple psalms that I don't really talk about a lot. I'm going to talk about something called the imprecatory psalms. The imprecatory psalms are psalms of violence and vengeance that the psalmist David normally would pray against his enemies. And there's some harsh language here, some difficult language. And so I thought it would be interesting for us to look at these psalms. These are called the imprecatory psalms. I think there's about 5 or 10 in the psalms that are considered this, and then there's a lot of other psalms that have some language about this in them. But 109 is one, and 140 is one. So today we're going to look at 109, and tomorrow we're going to look at Psalm 140. And these are psalms I don't know that I've ever preached on, and I don't talk a lot about, and you're going to see why when we read it. So let's read Psalm 109 today, and it's pretty long, but you'll see why it's a difficult one. Do not be silent, O God of my praise, for wicked and deceitful mouths are open against me, speaking against me with lying tongues. They beset me with words of hate and attack me without cause. In return for my love, they accuse me, and even when I make my prayer for them, they reward me evil for good and hatred for my love. They say, appoint an evil man against him. Let an accuser stand at his right. When he is tried, let him be found guilty. Let his prayer be counted as sin. May his days be few. May another seize his may another seize his position. May his children be orphans and his wife a widow. May his children wander about and beg. May they be driven out of the ruins they inhabit. May a creditor seize all that he has. May strangers plunder the fruits of his toil. May there be no one who to do him a kindness, nor anyone to pity his orphan children. May his posterity be cut off, and his name be blotted out of the second generation. May the iniquity of his father be remembered before the Lord, and do not let the sin of his mother be blotted out. Let them be before the Lord continually, and may his memory be cut off from the earth. For he did not remember how to show kindness, but pursued the poor and the needy, and the brokenhearted to their death. He loved to curse. Let curses come upon him. He did not like blessing. May it be far from him. He clothed himself with cursing as his coat. May it soak in his body like water, like oil into his bones. May it be a garment that he wraps around himself, like a belt that he wears every day. May that be the reward of my accusers from the Lord, of those who speak evil against my life. But you, O Lord, my Lord, act on behalf of your name's sake. Because your steadfast love is good, deliver me. For I am poor and needy, and my heart is pierced within me. I am gone like a shadow at even. I am shaken off like a locust. My knees are weak through fasting. My body has become gaunt, and I am an object of scorn to my accusers. When they see me, they shake their heads. Help me, O Lord my God. Save me according to your steadfast love. Let them know that this is your hand. You, O Lord, have done it. Let them curse, but you will bless. Let my assailants be put to shame. May your servants be glad. May my accusers be clothed with dishonor. May they be wrapped in their own shame as a mantle. With my mouth I will give great thanks to the Lord. I will praise him in the midst of his throng. For he stands at the right hand of the needy to save them from those who would condemn them to death. So we see here David List a whole lot of things that he wants the Lord to do to these people. And some say I read some commentaries to try to get try to get some a feel on this, and some say you could say um they would say that verse 6 when it says appoint a wicked man against him and let an accuser sit in his right hand, um they would say that these things that are said, may his days be few, may his children be orphans, may his children wander about, be driven out. Those are things that the wicked has said against David. But that doesn't really make much sense in the greater context of the psalm. This is David saying, "Hey, Lord, um, get him, Lord, get him." And we don't know what to do with these psalms. I mean, particularly when we run them parallel with Jesus, where Jesus says, "Bless those who curse you and pray for your enemies." He's praying for his enemies, but he's saying, "May his wife be a widow, may his children be cut off, may his name be blotted out to the second generation." So these are hard things, I think I found two things that help these passages make sense to me. Well, two, and then a spiritual one that Dr. Nick told us in seminary. One is that this is words said in anger. That not every prayer in the Psalms is right. Not every example not every prayer in the Bible is right, and everything we see in the Scripture is right. So sometimes we see the humanness of individuals, and there are times, if we're going to be honest, we have all had terrible things done to us and done, to our families, done to those we love, and sometimes there are times we feel much like David here. We're like, Lord, get them. Lord, look what they've done to my children. Look what they've done to these things. Get them, Lord. Get them. Get them, Lord. And we all felt this way, and so this psalm in some ways is giving voice to what we felt. That does not mean the voice is a good voice. That doesn't mean that we should stay this way or feel this way forever, but we probably all have felt this way at some point. So it's kind of giving voice to a reality that we all face. That's one thing. And then I read another thing that says there are there is wickedness in the world and justice must be done. And there are the Holocaust survivors could pray these prayers authentically because of their suffering. You know, there is such evil in the world at times that this language is appropriate language. Not often. It's not appropriate language because someone cut you off in traffic. But I could see a Holocaust survivor praying the psalm and meaning it, and giving anger to their pain, giving vindication to it. And I think if there are times our pain is so severe that if we can't name it, we can't let go of it. So I think I think these psalms wrestle with the reality of evil in the world. That there is evil in the world, and that there are times we want this evil to be greatly judged. That we want, that we need, and that justice, maybe not vengeance, justice must be done. Of course, the Psalms, um, Paul says, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord," and so ultimately judgment is in God's hand. So I think this does kind of remind us that there are real times when, yeah, there's much evil that must be named and dealt with. And then Dr. Nick at seminary always said, one of the ways that we can kind of make sense of these Psalms is to understand the one being cursed to get the one that's being spoken of like this is actually the devil, that we should think of these cries for vengeance and justice as cries that should be seen against the devil, and that we should hope that the devil is destroyed completely, and that God completely undoes him, and that there is nothing left of him, and that he is forever destroyed and defeated, in which he will be, according to the scriptures. Um, so these are Psalms that I don't think they have an easy answer. I really don't. I don't think they have an easy answer. And I think ultimately for me, how I'll land on these Psalms, and we're going to read Psalm 140 tomorrow, which is a similar psalm, is ultimately it gives voice to our anger. And there are times we feel like the psalmist here. There are times we feel like it. And we need to be able to name it, to name it. But we can't stay there. That's the thing is we can't stay here. So we all have hurt. As the great theologian Michael Stipe once said, everybody hurts. So it's okay to be honest with God in the midst of any anger or hurt that we face. So we'll continue tomorrow looking at another one of these Psalms. We'll look at Psalm 140 tomorrow. Hey, thanks for being with us. Be honest with God. See you tomorrow. Thanks.